What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to do another one of the requests that I got from you guys in the comment section. This one, I had one of you guys requesting that I share my thoughts on the top 10 best combat characters in Marvel Future Fight. Now, I thought this was a really good idea because the last time I made a video like this was almost a year ago, and the character that was at the bottom of that list is actually at the top of the list this time around. So a lot has changed in just over 12 months. Seriously, crazy stuff. Now, let me go ahead and say this really quickly before I jump into the list. This is just my top 10 list based on how I like to play the game and how I have these characters built. Your top 10 may look completely different than this, and that is completely fine. Please feel free to leave your top 10 in the comment section because it may be of some use to someone who takes the time to read the comment section, okay? So I just want to ask that really quickly of you guys. Leave your top 10 in the comment section and also leave a reason as to why that is your top 10, okay? That being said, let's jump right into it. So this right here, all of these characters that you see I have favorited, those are my top 10, and I'm going to go into detail for every single one of them. Number 10 on this list for me, guys, is actually going to be the Punisher. Now, the Punisher, you can see for yourself, I have him ranked 440 in the world, okay? However, the Punisher is absolutely useless without this particular uniform. You could get away with using him in this one, but this one right here is an amazing uniform. It gives him the survivability and the damage to make him an awesome character in this game. As you can tell, I have it at legendary, and it can be a mythic anytime I feel like it. I have everything I need, I just haven't gotten around to it. But the Punisher in this uniform is absolutely amazing. He can do very well in all of the major PvE game mode. Keep him out of PvP because he's not going to do very well there. But if you build him offensively, give him a damage proc with an offensive ISO set, level up his skills, it doesn't even matter if you get him to 6 and give him some Urus, he's a freaking monster as long as you have this uniform. So I have to put him on this list, rocking the number 10 spot. The Punisher is an absolute animal, guys. Definitely worthy of being called the Punisher in my opinion. However, uniform is definitely required because without it, like I said, he's pure garbage. Now, number 9 on this list is the character that once upon a time was the best combat character in the game. And the only reason why I put him above Punisher is because he's a supervillain. He's a combat supervillain, and that is Carnage. The reason for that is we have about 15 really good combat superheroes, but only about 5 really good combat supervillains. That's why Carnage is a little bit above Punisher in my opinion. If he wasn't a supervillain, he would be below Punisher in my opinion. But Carnage is a character, really good DPS. He has invincibility, heal, and a couple iframes. He's very good, very easy to play, but I know he's premium, so some of you guys may not like that. Build him offensively, give him a damage proc, and Carnage will definitely not let you down. Number 8 on this list for me is actually Agent Venom in his anti-venom uniform. An absolute beast. He's great for War Boss Ultimate, great for Shadowland, great for ABX. Overall, I think he's very fun to play, has really good DPS, and the fact that he now has 2 ways to heal himself to go with invincibility and a couple iframes, he's really good. I only have the uniform for him at advanced right now, and that's because he's a premium character and I don't want to spend so much money to get the BIOS to work on his uniform. I really just want to use a ticket to get it all the way to mythic that way. But overall, a very solid character, okay? Number 7 on this list is actually a shared spot for me. It's between the Hulk and Hulkbuster because overall their DPS is about on par and their survivability is about the same. Hulk may have a little bit better survivability because he has a healing passive for his 4-star passive right here, you'll see for yourself, which gets a little bit better once you get him to tier 2, right? However, overall both characters are very similar to each other and they can do really well in ABX, War Boss Ultimate, and Shadowland as well. Keep them both out of PvP, however, because they suffer. If you bring them in timeline and put them against the meta, they will fall to pieces. Seriously. Number 6 for me is actually going to be Valkyrie. I put her higher than all those other characters mainly because she's an amazing support type. She's great for Alliance battle, great for War Boss Ultimate at higher level stages, but overall the character herself is actually really good on her own, even at tier 1. She's great for ABX, great for Shadowland, and she's decent for low level War Boss Ultimate stages. Number 5 is actually going to surprise a lot of you guys, believe it or not, and that is because it's actually this guy right here. Venom Venom in his anti-venom uniform. Keep that in mind. That is Venom in his anti-venom uniform. You can see for yourself, I have this thing at legendary, and whenever I feel like it, I can just go ahead and get this thing to mythic. Venom without a uniform or with this Secret War uniform is pure garbage. Pure garbage, okay? Keep that in mind. However, in this uniform, he's an amazing support type to have on your team right here, because when you get hit, there's a 30% chance that you're going to heal for 15% of your max HP. He's a decent character for Shadowland ABX, and he can do really well at low-level World Boss Ultimate stages because he heals so much. However, one of the main reasons why he's so high, so much higher than the other characters on this list, is because of his 4 skill. His 4 skill, whenever he uses this, he drops some healing symbiotes on the ground, which you can then use to heal your other characters. And this is actually really good for World Boss Ultimate. He's one of the best World Boss strikers in the game right now, in my opinion, up there with Scarlet Witch. He may not deal anything close to the amount of damage you can get out of Scarlet Witch, but he's an amazing support character, because characters that would otherwise just drop dead and fall to pieces against those insanely high level World Boss stages, because of this and because of the fact that he pops in and uses this skill so frequently, he makes it possible for characters that would otherwise just die in like 30-45 seconds to complete really high level stages. And that is the reason why he's so high on this list. This uniform for him is a must buy, even if at some point he gets a better uniform. He's an amazing striker, and I have to put him on this list. And that is the reason why I put him higher than Valkyrie, because although Valkyrie gives you more damage, it doesn't matter how much damage you have if you just die within the first few minutes of the fight, right? So yeah, this guy in this uniform, thanks to the 4 skill, amazing. Absolutely amazing, okay? Number 4 character here is actually, for me, Wolverine. Wolverine, I've shitted on him a lot, I know, but Wolverine, in my opinion, is still the number 4 best combat character in the game. Not much to say. The healing makes him an absolute monster. This uniform is the best uniform for him. I see a lot of you guys asking. This uniform is the best uniform for him. I know a lot of you guys don't like the appearance. You personally like this one, but I will never buy this, because 10% ignore defense as opposed to, you can see for yourself right here, 15% decrease to all damage received. This wins every single time, because this makes Wolverine a lot tankier, because Wolverine doesn't have invincibility, damage immunity, or none of that. All he has to rely on is his healing. And once upon a time, that was really good and all he needed, but characters hit so hard now that every little bit of damage reduction helps in keeping him alive, okay? That is the reason why he's in the number 4 spot. Amazing damage when you line up a damage proc on the 5th skill and the healing in conjunction with this uniform. If he didn't have this uniform, I'd put him a little bit lower down, honestly. That's just my opinion, okay? 3rd character on this list, Apocalypse. APOC, my guy. The reason why he's so high up on this list is because he can be utilized in 2 World Boss Ultimate stages. He's the best combat supervillain in the game for ABX, and he's really good for timeline battle in the PvP aspect of the game, okay? Just build him offensively, or if you're like me, give him 2 ISO sets and you're good, okay? This is my PvP ISO set, and this is my PvE ISO set, okay? So yeah, I believe very strongly in his potential, and that's why he's holding down the number 3 spot for me. Now, the number 2 character right here is actually going to be T'Challa, the Black Panther. Now, right off the bat, some of you guys are going to be like, how is T'Challa so high? And the number 1 reason for that is because he's one of the 2 combat characters that can be gotten to tier 3. His tier 3 skill is actually pretty good. You can see for yourself, he can penetrate everything: super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, and invincibility. This makes it a really good skill for PvP. However, to be honest with you guys, I don't think you should be using T'Challa in PvP. I think he's gonna do his best in PvE, in World Boss Ultimate, but even then, he's only really good against 2 World Boss Ultimate stages, Proxima and Corvus. And he's gonna be my next tier 3, believe it or not, unless we get a tier 3 for Scarlet Witch or Thanos anytime soon, okay? Now, this uniform right here is definitely a must-have for him to be this high on this list, okay? Absolutely have to have the Marvel's Black Panther uniform, otherwise he's definitely much lower on this list, even if he's at tier 3, okay? T'Challa, make sure you build him super offensively, give him a damage proc, give him some Urus, and he's definitely worthy of being this high on the list. Now, the number one character on this list is none other than Captain America, the character that a year ago I put in the number 10 spot. Hard to believe this guy freaking jumped everyone, and as of right now, he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best combat character in the game, especially if you have him in this uniform. He is the best character for ABX for 2 days in particular, but any day that he can be using ABX, he can hit 2 million points. That's crazy, okay? So for the combat hero day, he can break 2 million, and on the combat female day, he can break 2 million in this uniform. No other character can do that. That alone makes him the best combat character in the game. However, he's able to take down 2 world bosses with absolute ease. That's Proxima and Corvus, and he's also really good for the PvP aspects of the game. So that is why Captain America is the number 1 combat character in the game for me. I actually have a CTP of energy on him, but if you give him a CTP of destruction, making it so that he can never be guard broken, that is actually probably the best CTP for him. Personally, in this uniform, it's probably not a good idea to give him an offensive ISO set, simply because every time you trigger the 5th skill, it's going to override your ISO set, and that is why I have a drastic density enhancement as an ISO set on this guy. However, when you run this female uniform, you're going to find that your score dips, because this uniform, he doesn't have that 5 skill 25% all attack buff. So you might need to give him 2 ISO sets, or at some point, if they ever make it so that this thing doesn't overlap with the ISO set, then you will be golden. But that is it for my list of the top 10 best combat characters currently available in Marvel Future Fight. Now keep in mind, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is my top 10, and I know there's a few other characters here that could have easily squeezed into the top 10, but I didn't want to make this list any longer than it needed to be, because we already have Hulk and Hulkbuster sharing a spot. So instead, please leave me your top 10 in the comment section, guys. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.